What is going on, and welcome back for episode numero dos of the No Steady Sorta Sports Talk. My name is Tyler with my co-host, Coach Broseph, aka Joey. How's it going, buddy?
It's WrestleMania week.
That it is. We are just a few days away at the time of recording from the biggest WrestleMania of all time. It's extra large this year. Joey, how excited are you?
Dude, I'm pumped. I haven't been this excited for WrestleMania in a while.
I got to say, they've done a great job of building anticipation. I feel like the Triple H era has really done a great job with
It's
concluding storylines at Mania, right? It's not just, hey, we're booking month to month. He is booking by the year, like long-term booking at its finest.
you think about the McMahon era and how it's, the payoff is only in a month or 2 months. And it's like, okay, next run. Now it's like, this dates back to not this past Royal Rumble, the one before that. And I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd have to agree
See
that
if we get a
season
good just to see if we get a good payoff.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I hope we do. I've been waiting. But you know what? Enough dilly dallying. Let's get this prediction show on the road with night one, the opening match. If you believe the graphics from Monday Night Raw, it would be your champion Rhea Ripley versus the man Becky Lynch. Who you got, Joey? And why?
Honestly, I think Rhea's going to retain. There's the only way that they stop this run that she's on is if they're just like, okay, Becky needs another shot with the title, and they have something to pay off down the road at SummerSlam. But honestly, Rhea's the hot ticket right now. She's the one that's, top billing. She's on the side of the trucks. She deserves to keep that title. She's doing really well with it, and she's a fan favorite. There's not many people who sit there and can be a heel like she is and keep that fan favorite tagline. So I'm going to pick Rhea.
Buddy, I could not be in any more agreement with you. The way they're building her up as the face of the women's division, there's no need to take the belt off of her right now, right? She's just on a run. I think the only reason you would ever do it is if you wanted to pull a China move and have her take one of the men's titles, which I don't think they're there with her yet. But you never know. I'm going to go with you. I'm with you, though. I'm going to go with Rhea on this one. It's not so much a torch passing. It's just more of along the lines of giving her due again for just the work she's been doing carrying Raw.
100%. I mean, she's the top woman on Raw by far. And I think they're going to save. I think what they should do, if I'm fantasy booking here, you put all this hype behind Jade Cargill, that she's the next big thing and all that, and that's got to be your payoff. There's put her against Rhea Ripley. Yeah, that's the money match for sure.
I'm going to throw one more name since you brought her up. I think it's her. There's really three in my mind right now. I'll say four because you throw Becky in there as a big one. It's got to be Charlotte, Bianca, Rhea, and Becky are your Jade Cargill ones, right?
I think the thing is, though, right now, you've seen I don't know that we've seen a Rhea and Bianca lately in the last year. Maybe that's your other big ticket one, but I think what they need to set up, mainly because they've set up Bianca to be this strong force in the women's division, you do a Bianca and Jade for the title whenever Bianca gets a title.
I don't disagree with you. I think they're two powerhouses. It would be a great match. Like, it's not very often you get. I don't want to call it a hoss fight because it's really not their specialty, but it's just two. I think powerhouse is the best way to put it. Explosive athletes, if that's what else you want to put it. I think Rhea, Charlotte, Jade, and Bianca fall in that category.
100%.
It just would be the most exciting.
The only thing that kind of I want to see set up, which we'll get to that later on in this episode, is they're in a match together already, Bianca and Jade. So it'll be interesting to see how they set that up and what they do with it. Maybe it's just kind of, hey, we want to get Jade Cargill in the big match at Mania, so that way it's like, okay, now we're putting you to work. So
yeah, we'll definitely. I definitely have some thoughts about that, about why the setup and how they did everything. But we'll definitely get to her match later, not too in the not too distant future.
mm-hmm.
So let's move right along. Match number 2 is going to be for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's going to be Gunther, your champion, is going up against Sami Zayn after he won the Gauntlet match on Raw a few weeks ago. Who you got and why?
Again, you have a champion who's been the champion for a while. Isn't showing any signs of stopping. I think it's going to be a back and forth. It's going to be that David versus Goliath kind of back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Gunther. He is elevating that title, and I don't think that it's finished being elevated, for that matter.
You aren't wrong there. He definitely is elevating that title.
I honestly think that I wouldn't be surprised if, for some reason, they want to rebrand that title again, that he wouldn't lose it until then.
So I'm going to stay with you on that one. I'm going to pick Gunther as well. I just don't think Sammy's the guy to end this reign, right? I think he feels more like a guy that they're taking because he's a fan favorite, and he's going to put on a heck of a match.
I think they're giving him his flowers. Like, hey, you deserve to be, for everything you did last year with the Bloodline storyline and all that. Like, you deserve it. You did a lot of good work and you held your own.
That's one thing I will say that I do kind of miss from last year as opposed to this year. I'm going to digress a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we had a lot more intrigue in like the Elimination Chamber, right? Because that's when Sammy was going against Roman. And you're like, oh my goodness, like, could they possibly do this? Like, could they take the title off Roman and have like Cody versus Sammy for the championship? Like,
it's something that it felt realistic that could happen. Like, you kind of looked at it like, is that going to happen? You don't feel that. You don't feel that with this.
Oh, no. Like, it was a foregone conclusion once, and like most years, there's a foregone conclusion once Cody won the Rumble that he was going to face Roman. Now, granted, they threw us a curveball and we're like, hey, we're going to throw The Rock in here randomly. And everybody's like, no.
Yeah, I think
they would have been fine if they didn't have Cody win the Rumble. That's my firm belief.
I think that, they said, I don't know if, bringing up something else that happened, that's kind of big news in the wrestling world. CM Punk was on Ariel Helwani's show, the MMA Hour, and he said that I want to say he basically said that there was audibles thrown on the fly in that match. And I don't think it involved his injury, but.
So what he said is that, yeah, they definitely had to call some audibles for spots.
Yes.
Right. But apparently the plan was always for Cody to win the match. He was never supposed to win it, but he did confirm that he was supposed to face Seth.
I think what would have happened is if they were going to have Punk win, then, and they had to call that audible, hey, we're still going to try to get you to face Seth. If he would have won, he would have picked Seth because he's like, this is the working title. And
plus
I think the Rock Roman thing would have happened, but because they had to flip on a dime, then it basically made it to where we have what we have now. And honestly, it's for the better. Don't get me wrong. If I would have been excited if Punk would have won, because I think Seth and Punk would put on a fantastic match when that
That's
day
still
comes.
Your money match.
Yeah. Yes, Punk's older, but he can still wrestle. Like, he's still got it. He's not to the point of how he was in his first run with WWE.
No.
He's still got the mind of, okay, this is happening. I need to do this. Okay, we need to do that. And they can do that stuff on the fly.
Yeah. I definitely think that Seth is also enough of a ring general to get a. I mean, he could wrestle a broom, and I feel like still put on at least a 2-star match.
Yeah.
If we're going to be 100% honest here. But let's keep this party train going. We keep jumping ahead, waiting to get to this Cody Rock thing, and we keep dancing around it. But I want to touch on all these other spectacular matches we have here. And match number 3, we're gonna go with it's the six-pack tag team ladder match. Try saying that 5 times fast for both tag titles. Okay, a nice little wrinkle they threw in is that both sets of tag titles are gonna be suspended, and the match doesn't end until both sets are taken down. So theoretically, you could have a team get both titles, but I think this is more of a ploy for them to be able to separate both titles and have a title for each show.
I mean, I like that they're giving it kind of a natural, like, hey, we need to split these up.
Yeah.
I think overall it's going to be a typical ladder match, a typical ladder tag match, which is amazing. It's not going to be like, don't compare it. The biggest thing I'll tell people, you do not compare it to 3D, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. You cannot touch that. You cannot touch that. Like, that is far and above the greatest ladder match of all time, and you're never going to top that.
I agree.
But my biggest, if I had to pick a team,
well, no, we're picking 2 teams.
Yeah, you're picking. Okay, so, well, no, not necessarily. You could say, like, no, I think that they're going to get both.
You're very true.
I think that New Day gets at least a set.
Okay.
You know, it's right there. Like, New Day easily, in my opinion, the best modern day tag team there is. You know, I'm not comparing Edge and Christian. I'm not comparing the Hardys. I'm not comparing 3D. Just, I feel like they've done good enough to, you know, get the crowd involved and, you know, keep it interesting for that matter. You know, everyone loves New Day. I don't know that many people that hate New Day.
No, you can't. I would say the only one I would throw in there are the Usos. Because especially recently.
I would put them there too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. But
I think it's a great choice, though, what you're saying.
I think they make each other better. I think if you have the Usos and there's no New Day, I don't know that you have.
How many years did they were the tag division? And they're like, yeah, we know they've been feuding for 2 years straight, but don't worry, they're going to go out and put on another 4-star match, and you're going to sit there and you're going to love it. And we did.
We did. The Usos, to me, this is going to sound really weird, and this is going to sound like you're going to give me a look like, you know, they're twin brothers, so it should be like natural to them to feed off each other.
Yeah, of course.
In that way, New Day, these people came from different places and different walks of life, and they mesh well. So to me, that's kind of why I give them the step above the Usos, but it's a really close step.
I mean, there's really not a right or wrong answer there.
No, there's not.
You're talking about 2 of the greatest teams of all time, but I think they both deserve to be up there for modern, for sure, for 100%. So you're going with the New Day for one of them, or you're going?
New Day's going to get one. Where do you think I'm going for the second set? I want to see what you think I'm gonna say.
You're gonna say Awesome Truth?
Nope.
Okay,
that's not where I thought you were going to tell me I was going. I would probably say it's going to be between New Catch Republic and A-Town Down Under.
Ooh, okay. You took one of mine. You took one of mine.
I think something's going to happen where one of those 2 teams is going to get it. And I think those 2 teams are going to, whichever team doesn't get it, they're going to battle the other team. If that makes sense. So, like, if New Catch Republic gets it, then A-Town Down Under is going after them. Yeah.
Or vice versa. And that's exactly what I think. I was actually going to say A-Town Down Republic for one of mine. And then my second one was actually going to be Austin
A-Town
True.
Down Republic.
Yeah, that one. A-Town Down Under.
Yeah. These long names. It's
Dude, it's like, God, like, can we just say the guys' names again? Like, I may just do that.
Darian Waller.
Team, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because the amount of spotlight they've been getting, you know, like they've been pairing them like with The Rock and all this stuff. So, and I think that's more of a signal than anything.
Well, you also got to look at like Grayson Waller effect has had the top stars on it.
Exactly.
And you don't do that for a bottom level guy. Like clearly he's doing something right. And I wonder if when they went to Australia, it showed how big of a star he truly is. I mean, he's a big star. Like he's really good at what he does. I wonder if that kind of elevated it. Like, hey, if we want to come back here, this is a top guy. You know, let's give him his flowers.
Man, I got to give him credit though. I'll give Grayson Waller credit. You could see that it was almost a little overwhelming for him. Which, I mean, who wouldn't be overwhelmed by that many people being like chanting your name and stuff, especially in your home country?
Oh yeah,
but
I mean, how many people were at that?
60 plus. I want to
Yeah,
say
like 60,000 people chanting your name. You're like,
and you do a shoey in front of everybody. Everybody's cheering for you. But he brought it back to being that heel too to get people to boo him. So he's definitely one I think you need to watch moving forward. He may not be a main eventer or a world champion, but he can definitely be that. I think a mid-level to an upper mid-level heel for you for sure.
He's gonna be. So, you know, you look at it by titles. So, you know, I'd say that the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title. I don't want to put them in the same. Like, I don't feel like they're at the same level right now. The Intercontinental title so much, like we talked about, more elevated than the U.S. title. But if you're going to put him at a bracket to like he'd fight for that title, it'd be those. I think it'd be at highest Intercontinental, at the lowest a U.S. title.
Now, don't get me wrong. I could definitely see them throwing a world title on him in a pinch if they needed a transitional champion as a heel or somebody, but it wouldn't be unless they elevated him more. But at his current level, I agree with you. I think he's more mid-card.
I think he'd be a, you know, hey, Elimination Chamber is going to be in Melbourne. Let's put him in the title picture
with some fastest
kind of thing, you know. But
that's fair. That's very fair. But I mean, hey, it's not a bad living if you're a mid-card heel champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people listen, some people just like that's where they want to be. And it's, you know, I don't want to have to do everything the world champion does. I want to kind of, I don't want to say breeze through, but I want to, like, I know my spot in the show and this is it. So just kind of keep it there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's perfectly fine. So, we've gone over this one. Let's go with the battle of the yeets. So, Joey, yeet or no yeet? For those uninitiated, it's Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, battle of the brothers.
So, if you asked me just yeet or no yeet without context of anything, like I've just recently just starting using the word yeet, but not for like excitement. Like I watched a video where a kid like chucked a hamster at a kid. And I said, that dude, no, I take that back. I watched this show on YouTube, and I'm going to give it a free plug. It's called Hell of a Boss.
Oh, jeez.
And so the very beginning of the episode, a teacher is going through with the students, and it's like, okay, class, what's today? And then the kids are saying like what the day is, and they're singing a song. And one of the kid in the corner goes, it's also your husband's birthday. And you see the teacher just like freak out, like, oh my God, no. So she's like, I forgot to get my husband a present, kids. Like, what are we going to do? And I guess the kids said, hey, you should FaceTime him. Well, when she FaceTimed him, she found out he was cheating on her. So she's walking down the hall, Lord. And the kid goes, oh, it's okay, teacher. Like, you know, we're here for you and we love you. And she just chucked the kid through the ceiling, like grabbed the kid by the shoulders and just went, Foom, And the only way to put it is she yeeted that kid through the ceiling. Since then, I've been using that phrase.
Okay.
Off topic ride. Yes, I know.
I mean, I wasn't sure where you're going with it, but
saying
okay.
that, I think that Jey Uso is going to do like that teacher and yeet his brother to a loss.
I feel like this is
Main
probably
event
one of the.
Jey Uso for the win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like this is definitely one of the easier ones on the card to kind of predict. I'm interested to see what they do with Jay after this, because I kind of feel like he's spinning his wheels a little bit with kind of being like, "Hey, I don't like the bloodline, so let me go after him," kind of thing, just because he kind of has to right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, but I think he could definitely be another one that could at least put on a few good matches with Gunther again. I know they had a good one on Raw not too long ago.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with the winner of this match. You know, considering the fact that Jimmy has basically, for lack of a better term, become Roman's bitch.
Yeah,
like that's
can I
like
jump in
okay,
real quick?
you're staying here. Go for it.
Like, and this is where the kind of bloodline. Look, it's been a great storyline. This is definitely one of the big falter points. Like the whole Jey Uso turn on Jimmy. I mean on Jay. I mean, I'm sorry. The whole Jimmy Uso turn on Jay during the tribal warfare match had to be the most obvious and horrible decisions they could have made with that turn, right? I'd rather hit Jay just lose a great match, just clean. I wouldn't care at that point, but because it made no sense. Like
was that just an easy way to get him to the other show?
100%. Jimmy was the reason he was even starting on this path. Like he's the one that talked Jay out of getting out of the bloodline.
It's
you see what I mean?
I feel like that's like that weird transition where WWE was getting out of the Vince McMahon control and kind of going into Triple H, like taking it back.
It was weird. It was weird. I'd say
like,
that much.
I think they'll have a payoff, and this will be the payoff.
Oh yeah, this is for sure the payoff.
I think if I'll wait till we talk about other matches.
Okay. All right. I appreciate
to give the rest of my opinion on that.
All right. So we'll keep it going. And we could circle back to something we were talking about earlier. Our next match is going to be the 6 women tag team match with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill making her WrestleMania debut, and Naomi versus Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Joey, who you got and why?
This is easy. It's going to be Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. If Jade Cargill doesn't turn heel.
It's a little,
if you have a heel turn where she's reaching it, I can see it.
But okay? I mean, so what are you setting up? You setting up her versus like Belair
Bianca,
or somebody like that?
Her and Bianca. Easily.
It's interesting.
Because you just see Jade Cargill, come on, tag me in. And Bianca's like army crawling to her, like, I'm going to get to you. And right when she goes to do that last second dive, Jade Cargill pulls her hand back and jumps off the apron and walks to the locker room.
Interesting.
Think about it. What was her? Okay. When she was in AEW, she wasn't exactly a good guy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
She was pretty much like the top female heel in AEW.
No, I mean, look, it's interesting. I just never thought about that way. I'll agree with you that if no heel turns happening, it's going to be Belair, Cargill, and Naomi. Because I just thought it was going to be it's one of the ways, because the whole thing you heard was that Jade wasn't prepared in the WWE style, right?
Right.
And that she needed a little more seasoning. That's why she's kind of been off TV. She's been in the Performance Center. So my initial thoughts were that they're basically doing this match to hide her a little bit, right? Like basically have Bianca and Naomi do the heavy lifting with the Damage Control, And then when it's time to do all the big spots, you bring in Jade to make her look like $1,000,000. But it's very, very interesting you bring up the whole Jade versus Bianca one. I don't know if it'd be too early, but I would definitely be interested in seeing it. I mean, like I said before, it's two powerhouses that could honestly probably main event a few pay-per-views if I had like I'm not saying SummerSlam or anything like that, but definitely like a Fast Lane, that kind of level pay-per-view. It's interesting, Joey. I'll spitball another one at you. How about you have them as a tag team if you're trying to elevate those belts in the women's tag division? That way you still hide Jade if that's what they're trying to do.
I
You
just
still
feel like if you have Jade Cargill in an extended tag team role, I feel like you're almost wasting her. Like, she's super talented. She's really good at what she does. I just think that, you know, would it be good for her to have, a tag team run with somebody? Yes. Do I think it would be Bianca? No. I think maybe you put her with Naomi, you make them a heel group. Like, that can happen, and it can happen real well. I just I don't think you put Cargill and Bianca together, because that would be as if they had a tag team, which I mean they did, of Shayna Baszler, who was, I'm ripping everybody's head off and beating them every chance I can, and Ronda Rousey, who is unstoppable, and she's just like you can't beat her. If you put those two together, you might as well put the belts on in that second.
Yeah, it just feels like to me that they need to do something with those belts. It was a great concept, but it hasn't interested me at all the way they built it. You know what I mean?
I think it's because a lot of it's because those belts stay to one show. They don't really go back and forth. You also don't want to put too many belts out there. You don't want to have a SmackDown and a Raw belt, because then it's like, okay, now we've got to have more people, and we don't have that many.
Then you start getting into AEW territory where it's like you have belts for everything.
Right. Like, you can't pull from TNA, and say, hey, Jordan Grace, we need you to come up. We have you, we know you're the TNA Knockouts champion, but we want you to be in a tag team with, I don't know, Mickey James. Like, she's still wrestling with y'all, right? Bring her on over. Like, they're not going to do that.
Dude, Jordan. So that's a funny thing you brought up, Jordan Grace. Have you heard what they're doing in TNA? Is that they're starting to basically make these contracts into like per appearances deals?
That doesn't surprise me.
Like with the top talent? Dude,
That
I think
doesn't surprise me.
Jordan Grace, especially after that showing in the Rumble, could really do some damage in this division.
I honestly, I think that was also a tryout, as much as I think that was partially a tryout. Like, hey, let's see how you can do in the WWE system. And to be honest, I think she did really well. Granted, it was a Rumble.
They made her look like $1,000,000 though. They gave her spots. Like, she wasn't just doing, I'm going to do my finishing move and get thrown out kind of thing and make look like a dork.
Right. I think, again, it's going to be, this match is very easy. And if the writing's on the wall for what it could be, either way.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point to leave this match on, because we've kind of diverged into TNA and different companies now. Let's bring it back into WrestleMania. Let's go with the next match, the second to last match of the night, according to Raw. It's going to be the LWO, the team of Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom Mysterio. Joey, who you got? And you can't say who cares.
It's it's probably going to be Santos and Dominic.
Really?
The reason I say that is,
okay, we're going to disagree for the first time, I think today, Joey.
I mean, I want to say Ray and Dragon Lee, but when you look at all the matches that we've predicted so far, we're predicting a very vanilla WrestleMania. in my opinion. You got to have the bad guy come out victorious somehow. And, if you just have one match be that, then it's pretty vanilla. So I think that would be the second one
Okay,
for that night.
We'll disagree. I'm going to go with the LWO. I think this is just your ceremonial Rey Mysterio match. Let him get his stuff in. I will say it was interesting they added Dragon Lee. I know they're high on him, but the fact that he has I don't know, Carlito standing next to him when he's making this announcement was by far the funniest thing to me. And I'm like, why is he not in this? Like, it was pretty much just like, okay, we're gonna say all this stuff, just to say Carlito. And I'm like, all right, cool, that'll work. And it's like Dragon Lee. I'm like, sure. It was just funny to me. That's all. It was just one of those things like, oh, but I want to be involved.
I don't understand it. I
think
think
they're
this
high
is just
Dragon Lee.
I think this is honestly just a filler match.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this could easily be, the Raw after WrestleMania match, but
it could be.
I'm not taking away the talent. They're really good. I just that story doesn't interest me that much.
I mean, it's only come together the last few weeks, so. But so let's go some interesting stuff. And with your main event for night one, you got the Bloodline, the team of The Rock, the final boss, and Roman Reigns, your tribal chief, versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. What the stipulation being is if Seth and Cody win, the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during night two's main event. But if The Rock and Reigns win, the championship match on night two will be a Bloodline rules match, which is basically no holds bar, anything goes. However, we can cheat to help Roman win. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Joey, who you got? Why?
I'm interested to hear who you have first.
Are you gonna let me go first?
Yeah, because I have an opinion on this match.
So I'm gonna say the Bloodline wins this match. Because there's two reasons. They're not going to beat Roman twice. And this is selfishly me trying to fantasy book fucking night two. Okay.
I feel like
freaking
everyone,
night two.
I feel like everybody is looking at this and saying, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be Bloodline wins night one so that the cards are stacked against Cody. And then something ridiculous is going to happen night two. So
Joey, I'm gonna ask you something real quick. Let's do this. Let's table the rest of this conversation.
Okay.
I feel like we have to bubble this with night two's main event.
So we agree that The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win.
Yes.
Okay. That's all we need to talk about that.
For right now.
We're going to bring it up.
Something that directly involves for night two.
Right.
Okay. So let's go night two, Sunday. Your opening match, according to Raw, if you believe all the graphics the way they went, is going to be Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Joey,
I do feel that's going to be the first match, only because do you remember when we went to, was it WrestleMania 34? 34? How dead were we by the time they got to the second to last match?
Okay, but there's a difference. I'm going to say there's a difference in that one is that this is only going to be 3 hours, Joey, not 7.
I agree. However, if you just look at a match where all the energy is used up for a match. Okay.
Yeah.
The next match is typically kind of a dud, crowd wise.
But see, this is two different nights, though.
Right, but this isn't. World Heavyweight Championship and Undisputed title are the same night.
I know, but I definitely think this is going to be the first one, though. I agree with you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But so who you got, buddy?
Something funky is going to happen with CM Punk because he's on commentary.
He's on commentary.
What I think will happen is that Drew McIntyre is going to win. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Seth Rollins is going to win. Then you're going to hear not Seth's music playing. And Damian Priest is going to come out sprinting to the ring, cash in the Money in the Bank contract, and take the title off of Seth.
So I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna play it a little differently for you though. Drew McIntyre wins. CM Punk hits him with a chair, beats him down after the match, and that's when you hear the Judgment Day music hit. And you see Damian Priest running down there, few more cracks onto Drew McIntyre, and he wins the title and walks out of Mania as a champion. Because it plays into the CM Punk Drew McIntyre storyline, right? And it also plays into the thing of Drew McIntyre hasn't won the big one yet. And you know when that's gonna happen? Is Clash of the Castle 2.
Where is Clash at the Castle this year? I know it's somewhere. I know it's not in Cardiff. Is it Scotland?
It's Scotland, Glasgow. I want to
Boom.
say.
Boom.
I want to say. Hold on. I will fact check that real quick.
I do. Okay. If it is in Scotland, that is happening. 100% yes, that is happening.
That's my prediction. All right. Give me 1 second. Scotland. 1,000. Either he's walking in there champion or he's going to be walking out champion. One way. There's no way.
Yeah,
but I think we're both.
He's gonna. So we both agree that neither one of them are walking out with the title.
We both agree on a cash in. That's a pretty that's calling our shot on that one.
Right.
But I agree with you. I think it's going to be. I think we both say Damian Priest, just a little bit different way of getting there.
Right. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it for sure.
It just feels right, right? Like it just feels like he has to cash in now.
How much longer does he have? He has till July.
Whenever the next.
It's a year.
Yeah, but it was like June. I want to say
was
last
it
Money in
June?
the Bank. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, he's still got a little time, but I have a feeling it's going to be. It just feels like Mania.
I feel like honestly, like the last cash in at Mania was what 9 years ago.
Yeah, and plus the biggest WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, you got to do it. Like,
yeah, and do it at this match. Do not do it in the main event.
No,
you quit that shenanigans, Damian Priest. No,
don't get me wrong. I would love to see it happen and he lose.
No, I kind of want to see Damian get a.
I want to see Damian get a run at the title. Like he's earned it. He's
a solid hand, man. He's a good wrestler. He's a big guy.
It's believable if he wins the title.
Exactly. And I think that's
the biggest thing. He's got to be believable, and that's him.
So let's move right along here. Let's go to the ladies. And it's going to be for the WWE Women's Championship. You got Io Sky, your champion, versus Bayley. Joey, who you got and why?
Hey, we want some Bayley.
I feel like this one's pretty easy.
She's earned it. How many title runs has she had? Title runs.
The problem with her is that they gave her title runs too soon with that with the hugger gimmick. I really hope that comes back. Like I hope she does that as her entrance.
I don't think that'll ever come back.
It's not going to, but it'll be great. It's just nostalgia purposes.
But. In the words of Chris Jericho, that was done by bad creative and is gone forever.
That's true.
Don't get me wrong. Like it was fun. Like it was a fun gimmick.
It was an NXT gimmick.
Yeah, that's like it stays there.
Okay, fair enough.
Like But
Man, so
I
Joey,
think
that's some
Bailey's
boring
going to win it.
content. Yeah, me too. But I mean, that's pretty boring. We both agree on that one. So
Do we need
let's
to
switch it
stop?
up. We really do need to stop. But let's get a little more entertaining with LA Knight, versus AJ Styles. And before we get into it, there's a little rumor that AJ may be getting a new theme song. He's been hinting at it.
How do you feel about that? You love his theme song. Every time it comes on, you do the
Yeah,
every time.
I've quieted over the years, but it has been a good bit. I have been an enthusiast. I'll give you that one. I think it's time. I'm just happy that he's, because he hasn't really done a whole lot until this is kind of kicked off. You know what I mean? It seems like they keep wanting to do the OC kind of stop start a little bit, but in regards to this match, if you don't mind, I'll go. So I'm gonna go first on this one. I think it's gonna be LA Knight. I think he comes out victorious on this one. This just feels like it's gonna be a really good singles match, but I don't have a doubt it's LA Knight. He needs a victory more than AJ Styles does to stay relevant.
I feel like if AJ Styles wins this match, that run that LA Knight had of going for the title is for nothing. And I think you have killed all the momentum you have given him since SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's when
Whenever
Roman
they had
really.
it was whenever they had that Slim Jim Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Like that was his push. That was like, okay, this is our guy. And you got him to the wire against Roman. Funky shit happened. And now he's just kind of like, all right. It's almost as if like Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and I'm saying both of them, are John Cena now or John Cena back then, when they would say John Cena just buries people. Like that's what Roman does. He just buries people. Like, okay, I beat you. You're done.
I agree. There's definitely been, now recently, I will say through like WrestleMania 39 season, you've been kind of getting some guys that have come out the other end in a better place. Like Sami Zayn was spinning his wheels when he joined the blood, said be more Usi and join the bloodline. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I think that served a greater purpose than what people will remember. Like think about it. He came out for the better because of being in the bloodline. Like he came out better. He came out a tag team champion. He's about to wrestle he main evented. He wrestled for the he's going to wrestle for the Intercontinental title at night one. And he kind of got the ball rolling on, oh, the bloodline isn't as strong as we think it is. It's starting to show the cracks. And that's the bloodline we know now.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not all perfect kind of deal.
No, and be honest with you, he actually freshened up the bloodline storyline for a good bit.
He did. He got it back to where I think it should be. It shouldn't just be, it kind of became vanilla for a second, where it's just like, oh, okay, bloodline wins, woo, yay. And it's like, ooh, there's a new shiny toy, but it's the bloodline, but it's new and it's shiny. It's the new model.
And then you just had so many different like character developments and like interpersonal relationships weaving in and out. Like you had Jay and Jimmy's relationship, then you had Jay and Sammy's relationship, then you had Jimmy and Sammy's relationship. It's all just twisted and turned. It was great. It was great drama.
This has to show how important the bloodline has been to WWE in the last year and a half. That just about every male match that we have talked about has circled back to that storyline. Jimmy and Jey Uso, they were in the bloodline. I get it. But then you look at this match, we're talking about the bloodline. I'm sure when we talk about the U.S. title match, we're going to talk about the bloodline somehow. And,
let's jump right into it. It's actually the next match. So we can jump right into it then on that one. There's a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. You got your champion, Logan Paul.
I also didn't give my prediction for the last match, sir.
I thought you did. Oh, no, that's my mistake.
I said if AJ wins, it's going to kill all the momentum that LA Knight has had over the last year and last half a year.
My apologies, buddy. My
And
apologies.
with that, I do say that if you're going to debut a new theme song, you win. So if AJ walks out to a new theme music, he's winning.
That's how we know.
Mhm. You
That's
don't like.
Joey.
I feel like if you're going to rebrand somebody at the grandest stage of them all, you're not going to like cut that out from under him.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very sound reasoning on that one. So I'm gonna stop talking now and let you take this one over again. Like I said, it's a triple threat match for the United States Championship. It's Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
All right, let's see. Who I think is going to win?
Yeah.
It's going to probably be Logan Paul. Who I want to win? It's a flip of a coin between KO and Randy Orton.
Anybody
think-
not Logan Paul.
Yes. I think honestly Logan Paul's going to win. They're doing the Roman Reigns route of elevating that title.
Yep.
I feel like it can work. It is starting to work. I think that title is a little more important than it was when it was on around Austin Theory's waist. But give it another year, and I think maybe we could get that title. I mean, let's be honest. Logan Paul is talented at wrestling. You know, he doesn't have the, he's not as, wet behind the ears as AJ Styles. He hasn't been around the block that much, but dude's talented. Like, you can't take that away from him.
He's athletic. He knows how to tell a story in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, he's
not the most likable guy, but
it's definitely more exciting when he loses. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
But when he wins, he makes it exciting that he has won for sure. Like, you can't take that away from him. The one thing that I do kind of wish they would kind of back away from is putting branding in the ring like they did that one time. Having a Prime bottle in it. I'm sure they're going to put it around the ring again to be in a Prime bottle.
Homie, that's already been announced. That is, and every premium live event, they're gonna have the Prime bottle in the ring.
Oh, I hate that.
That's
I mean,
paid,
okay,
paid sponsorship, buddy.
If it's the dead center of the ring, I'm gonna hate it. If it's like in the corner on the LED boards around the ring, okay, I can live with that.
Joey, I hate to tell you, buddy, this is gonna be like the MMA mat, the octagon, man.
As long as so WCW used to do that. They used to put sponsorship in the ring on the posts. They put it, on the. I don't think they put it on the turnbuckles. They didn't have any print on the turnbuckle, but they would at least have it on the canvas in the corner. And if they can do it that way, where it's like it can be in each corner, just make it look tasteful. Don't just like, oh, big ass Prime bottle, plop.
I hate to tell you, buddy. I think it's a big ass Prime bottle in the middle of the thing.
I know he's gonna. So I saw a thing today that there was a Prime vehicle being towed into the Philadelphia area. So he's riding that thing into the stadium.
Oh, 1,000%.
And I'm sure KSI is going to be involved somehow.
He's been involved in pretty much everything he's done. I mean, KSI has been the fall guy for a lot of stuff. Which is hilarious.
You know what? This would make me laugh the most if KSI is involved and he causes Logan to lose, and he goes, "Remember what you did to me last year?" That's what's going to happen. I think if something like that happens, I think that'd be entertaining as shit, and I'd enjoy the hell out of it. And I'm not saying that because I want to see Logan lose. I think he's going to win, and I think he's doing great. But it would definitely be a good chuckle for that to happen.
I like the way you're thinking on that one, bud.
Because I like the fact that like a lot of Logan's matches, he does something where it's like, oh, you can't necessarily take me too seriously. Like he did the selfie cam off the top turnbuckle in Saudi. He did he did the same thing, except KSI had the camera and he got pulled onto the table and he got landed through, like that kind of stuff where it's like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Drawn on
You
the
know,
drawn
drawn
on
on the
the
social media side of his
no, I'm saying
stardom.
drawn on the elimination chamber cage and being like Kevin Owens stinks and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Like just
yeah, like that kind of
random
stuff.
random dumb stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, doing that stuff, it's like it feeds into the I'm a social media star, and I enjoy that aspect of it.
I can enjoy a true a-hole heel.
Yeah,
100. It's a real craft. So I won't take long on that one. I think we agree a lot. I think that it's going to be Logan Paul is going to win, and this will eventually lead to a singles match against an LA Knight somewhere. I feel like they still just have too much tread on the tire for that.
it's gonna
rivalry.
be. It's not gonna be Backlash. It's gonna be whatever the next pay-per-view is.
Probably a Saudi show, if I had to guess.
Is that when Crown Jewel would be?
I know there's one usually always right around Mania.
Yeah, so it'll be then.
That's just my prediction. So, because I'm really itching to get to this main event. We're so close.
We got a couple matches to go.
No, it's only one more. Only one more before we do it, and it is.
Oh, you're right.
It's the Pride which is the team of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. So I'll be honest with you, not super familiar with the rivalry. I've not paid as much attention to it. I'm going to go.
I've kept a slight eye on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to defer to you on the expert opinion, but I'm going to go first, take a stab at the dark, and I'm going to say the Final Testament's going to win.
I think so too.
Being the newer team, and
I think
it feels
so
like
too.
they need a win. Okay.
I think they need something that kind of puts them over the edge to be like that's a true heel faction. And one of two things is going to happen.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. So they run SmackDown?
Yes, they're on SmackDown.
You want a fun rivalry with them? Judgment Day. I think if you get them in Judgment Day, I think that could be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could see it because you got all the players and you got supporting characters like Paul Ellering and Scarlett who really aren't going to join the fight in those kind of triple threats.
I'm thinking less numbers. About less numbers, more. I think it would just be fun. I think it would be a good you've already got Rhea Ripley is like the top person that everyone loves in Judgment Day. Plus, how hilarious would it be if Dominic Mysterio is getting booed and they're the babyface faction in that argument, in that rivalry? That would be fantastic.
Oh, he'll get booed for the rest of his career. That's his gimmick from now on.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So I just think that, the only thing I keep imagining in my head, and especially if none of them turn face right now, they're a lot alike. So you'll see this, like, the old Spider-Man meme where it's like, wait, you?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of feel like.
You? Yeah. That's exactly what it would be. But it would be a fun little rivalry. I think.
All right. So we're both in agreement with the Final Testament on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, it's time. It is time. It is time. It is time for our main event, which is Roman Reigns versus the winner of the 2023, the 2024 Royal Rumble, the American Nightmare, the guy who should have won last year, Cody Rhodes. Who you got and why?
I think my headline speaks for itself.
Yeah, I think we both are going to go with Cody, but
I think we both want Cody. But this is what I think will happen. So we both agree the Bloodline's going to win the night before.
Yes.
So it's going to be Bloodline rules. I can foresee Seth Rollins coming in helping. I can see every person who has been screwed over by Solo, by Jimmy. You're going to get Jay involved. You're going to get Sammy, I think, will get involved somehow. It's going to be the culmination of you have fucked us enough. And Cody Rhodes is going to win. And he's going to do it clean.
Oh, I love
it.
I love
finish
it.
Clean.
Joey, I absolutely love it. And I'm pretty much in agreement with you, except I got one twist.
What's that?
Okay. Cody Rhodes is winning. What's going to happen is, especially with Roman Reigns doing his documentary, saying that, his A&E biography, I should say, saying that if he loses, he's done. The Rock screwing over Roman Reigns. His bloodline rules. He's going to jump in, act like he's doing the count. 1, 2, stop. Roman's going to get up. They're going to argue back and forth. Rock bottom, people's elbow. Cody hits him with his finisher. Hits him with the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Roman goes away for a while. Rock goes away, does his he gives a speech on Monday night about how he's the true head of the table. He's the final boss. He's the high chief. He's the high chief. He's earned this. And then he goes away because he is filming a movie in a time period between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. And your main event of SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio, of all places, is going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock, unless they're able to stretch that to Mania 41 for who
in
Minnesota. In Minnesota, and who is the real head of the table. That's my prediction. And some people are going to say, "Oh, it kind of sounds like WrestleMania 27," but in the way they've built it, it makes sense.
I think then you'd get the people who are like, "I want The Rock and Roman."
Yeah,
I think that would be good. I think that would be good.
And you get it down the road. You still have that money match down the road. Just because he helped Roman out doesn't mean he's going to be Cody's best friend. So you still have that money match in your back pocket. And then Cody already has these natural routes he can go because it's not the same guy at the top anymore. Like you tell me, like a random match, like you wouldn't, or Cody's first feud, AJ Styles, let's say, out of Mania. I think that's a great first feud for him. Like somebody like that, it doesn't have to be a big time hit
for the title.
Yeah, his first program
Seth
after Mania.
Seth,
you turning Seth heel that soon?
Monday night.
I don't hate it. I'm just asking.
I think they go out there like we're gonna have a celebration for him. This, that, and the other. He just clocks him, and they just do that thing where he just stares at him.
You stole my moment. I don't hate that either.
Because the only other thing you can do, and I think and it sucks that they'll never do it.
Book it, you cowards.
It would be cool if they booked Punk and Cody.
Oh, I think it's happening.
And they do it to where they bring in a storyline of, hey, like Cody goes, hey, you tried to ruin my baby, my creation, AEW.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
And, you tried to ruin it. And because, I mean, he did come out and say, like, that company's not, like, it's not that good of a company. Yeah, it's not well run. So he could sit there and go, like, hey, my friends and this and that and all that. And if they could use that, that would be such a good story. It won't be as good as this. Like, this is probably the greatest story that they've had in a while. But honestly, in my opinion, that would be just as good of a story. So that way you bring in a little bit of reality into what you have.
I don't hate it.
Especially if you want to be in the reality era where you have The Rock on social media saying like, oh, you think just because the producer said we're clear, it's all fair, like we're all done? Yeah, no, we're going to keep this going. Like, if you're going to utilize that, you have to utilize the AEW storyline.
I'm all for it. I love it.
And I'll be honest, I think if Cody went to Triple H and said, "Hey, I think this would be good," and he went to Tony Khan and said, "Hey, I want to use this," I'm sure they'd be like, "Yeah, no problem."
Yeah, I look.
Also,
They've
because they want
mentioned a few times.
yeah,
Like who? Somebody was just like, I think it was CM Punk actually. He's like, yeah, because he was off doing something else at some other. Oh no, it was Roman Reigns recently. It was just like, Cody
he's
had to
off
go
doing
away.
something else somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, let's just agree that we're both excited because this could be the dawn of a new era,
Yes.
and it's been a fun ride. But stories do need to be concluded to start new ones, and just do it already. Like
Yeah.
we've waited it's been 3.5 years. Like
I keep seeing the reels and all that of just imagine, and it's like 1, 2, 3, and it's Roman Reigns' music, and I'm like, stop it.
I mean,
No.
we've already, Joey, we've lived it.
Yes.
Like we lived it last year.
Yeah, we don't need to live it again.
I like before the match even started, I was like, I don't care how good the match is, as long as he loses, I'm good. And then the match turned out to what was it, 38 minutes, and like 36 of those minutes were fantastic. And then 1, 2, 3, and then there's a chicken in the ring.
There's a chicken in the ring.
Like that's still hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good spot to leave this off, man. And a great. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good time, man.
Just remember, no spoilers for me. I'm missing night 1.
I got you, buddy. But we're watching night 2 together. You know that.
Yes. Damn right.
All right. On that one, y'all. Thank God it's WrestleMania season. Enjoy it. Drop a comment. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And we'll be back with y'all with our normal sports talk next time. Take it easy.
Peace.